The automotive world is once again filled with tension, and this time, the pressure feels even stronger than before. A new situation has emerged that could challenge the way people think about repairing some of the most expensive cars in the world. At the center of this story is Bugatti, a brand known for producing some of the fastest and most exclusive cars ever built. For years, Bugatti has controlled how its vehicles are repaired and maintained, making sure that only official service centers and trained experts handle their cars. This control helped protect their reputation, as their cars are not only expensive but also extremely complex. However, things are beginning to change. Independent builders, people who repair cars outside of official manufacturer networks, are starting to gain knowledge and experience with these vehicles. This shift is creating a divide in the automotive world. On one side, there are traditional manufacturers like Bugatti who believe repairs should only be done through their official channels. On the other side, there are independent experts who believe that with the right skills and knowledge, they can repair even the most advanced hypercars. This situation has become even more interesting because of recent events involving YouTubers who document their car projects online. These creators are not just repairing cars. They are sharing every step of the process with millions of viewers. As a result, knowledge that was once hidden behind company walls is now becoming public. This is something Bugatti may not be comfortable with, especially as more people begin to question whether official service centers are the only option for maintaining these vehicles. The rise of independent builders is not just about saving money. It is about changing how the entire industry works. And now, with a new broken Bugatti entering the scene, the tension is only increasing. The situation became even more dramatic when YouTuber Mark McCann purchased a damaged Bugatti Veyron for an incredible £1.1 million. At first, this might sound surprising. Why would someone spend that much money on a car that does not even work? But this is not just any car. This particular Veyron is a rare Mansory edition, customized with unique features that make it stand out even among other Bugattis. It has a full exposed carbon fiber body, polished wheel arches, and a bright interior that makes it look truly special. Originally, these customizations alone cost hundreds of thousands of euros, and the car was likely built for a very wealthy owner. When working properly, this Veyron could be worth around £1.6 million, or even more. However, the problem is serious. The gearbox is completely broken, meaning the car cannot be driven at all. It has also been sitting in use for 3 years, which can cause additional issues in a high-performance vehicle. Bugatti reportedly quoted around £300,000 just to replace the gearbox. That is an enormous amount of money, even for someone who can afford Bugatti. This is where the story becomes more interesting. Instead of simply accepting Bugatti's solution, Mark McCann decided to explore other options. His purchase was not just about owning a rare car. It was about testing whether it is possible to repair such a complex machine without relying completely on the manufacturer. This decision reflects a growing trend in the automotive world, where people are starting to question whether official repair costs are always justified. It also raises an important question. If a car is worth more than its repair costs, does it make sense to take the risk and try to fix it independently? For Mark, the answer seemed to be yes. But he knew he needed expert advice before moving forward. Instead of contacting Bugatti directly, Mark McCann reached out to Mat Armstrong, a well-known YouTuber who has built a reputation for rebuilding damaged luxury and supercars. This choice alone says a lot about how the automotive world is changing. Traditionally, someone dealing with a broken Bugatti would immediately contact an official dealer or service center. These facilities have access to factory parts, trained technicians, and direct support from the manufacturer. However, Mat Armstrong represents something different. He is part of a new generation of car builders who use skill, creativity, and connections to repair vehicles that many people would consider impossible to fix. At the time of the situation, Mat was already working on rebuilding a crashed Bugatti Chiron, one of the most advanced cars in the world. His project had attracted a lot of attention online, not only because of the car itself, but also because Bugatti had reportedly refused to support the rebuild. Despite this, Mat continued his work, proving that independent builders can take on even the most challenging projects. When Mark called him, it was not just for a simple opinion. It was a sign of trust. Mark wanted to know if buying a broken Veyron was a smart decision, and Mat's advice carried real weight. During their conversation, Matt analyzed the situation carefully. He explained that even if the repair cost was high, the overall value of the car could still make the investment worthwhile. More importantly, he suggested that there might be cheaper ways to fix the gearbox through independent specialists. This idea challenges a traditional belief that only manufacturers can properly repair their own vehicles. It also shows how knowledge is spreading within the independent repair community. Builders like Matt are not just working alone. They are connecting with other experts, sharing information, and developing new ways to solve problems. This growing network is becoming more powerful with each successful project. What is happening in this situation is bigger than just one broken car. It represents the growth of an independent repair network that operates outside the control of manufacturers. This network includes skilled mechanics, part suppliers, fabricators, and specialists who can handle different aspects of complex repairs. For example, rebuilding a Bugatti may require experts in carbon fiber, advanced electronics, and precision engineering. In the past, it would have been almost impossible for independent builders to access the tools and knowledge needed for such work. But today, things are changing. Information is more available, and people are more willing to share their experiences online. YouTube plays a huge role in this process. When builders document their projects, they are not just entertaining viewers. They are also teaching others. Every video becomes a learning resource, showing how problems are solved and how parts are sourced. Over time, this creates a shared knowledge base that anyone can access. In the case of Mat Armstrong, his work on the Bugatti Chiron has already helped him build connections with various specialists. These connections are now being used to assist with other projects, including Mark McCann's Veyron. This kind of collaboration makes independent repairs more realistic and more successful. It also reduces the need to rely on official service centers. Of course, this does not mean that manufacturer support is no longer important. Bugatti still has unmatched expertise when it comes to their own vehicles. However, the existence of alternative options changes the balance of power. Customers now have choices, and that can lead to lower costs and more flexibility. The idea of a monopoly on repairs becomes weaker when independent solutions prove to be effective. This shift is not happening overnight, but it is clearly moving forward. Each successful project adds more confidence to the independent repair community and encourages others to try similar approaches. The events surrounding this broken Bugatti raise important questions about the future of owning high-end vehicles. For many years, buying a hypercar meant accepting that maintenance and repairs would be extremely expensive and tightly controlled by the manufacturer. Owners had little choice but to follow official procedures, even if the costs were very high. However, the rise of independent builders is starting to change this reality. If people like Mat Armstrong can successfully repair complex cars without factory support, it could open new possibilities for owners. They might be able to save money, explore different repair options, and even customize their vehicles in ways that were not previously possible. At the same time, there are still risks to consider. Hypercars are incredibly advanced machines, and improper repairs can lead to serious problems. Safety is always a concern, and manufacturers like Bugatti argue that their strict control helps ensure that cars remain reliable and safe. This is an important point that should not be ignored. The goal should not be to replace official service centers completely, but to create a balance where both options can exist. Independent builders can offer flexibility and innovation, while manufacturers can provide expertise and quality assurance. Together, these approaches could improve the overall experience of owning a hypercar. As more projects like this appear online, the conversation will continue to grow. People will keep asking whether traditional systems still make sense in a world where information is freely shared. The story of this broken Bugatti is not just about one car. It is about a changing industry. And as more builders take on these challenges, the future of automotive repair may look very different from what we see today. To fully understand why the situation is getting so much attention, it is important to look closely at the numbers behind the repair. When Mark McCann bought the broken Bugatti Veyron for £1.1 million, many people immediately questioned whether it was a smart financial decision. At first glance, spending that much money on a car that cannot even move might seem like a huge risk. However, in the world of rare hypercars, value is not always about the current condition of the vehicle. It is also about rarity, history, and potential. This particular Veyron, being a Mansory edition, is extremely rare and has unique features that make it more valuable than a standard model. When fully working, it could be worth around £1.6 million or even higher depending on the market. This creates a possible profit margin, but only if the repair costs stay under control. The biggest issue is the gearbox, which Bugatti quoted at around £300,000 for a full replacement. If Mark had decided to go with this official repair option, his total investment would rise to about £1.4 million. That still leaves some margin, but not a very large one considering the risks involved. There could be other hidden problems due to cars sitting in use for 3 years, such as engine wear, electrical faults, or damage to other components. This is where independent repair options become very important. According to Mat Armstrong, there are specialists who can rebuild the gearbox for around £150,000, which is about half the cost of a full replacement from Bugatti. If this approach works, it would reduce the total investment to around £1.25 million, increasing the potential profit margin significantly. This difference shows why more people are starting to explore alternatives to official service centers. It is not just about saving money. It is about making projects like this financially possible. Without independent repair options, many broken hypercars would simply remain in use because the cost of fixing them would be too high. By finding more affordable solutions, builders can bring these cars back to life and even create opportunities for profit. However, it is important to remember that these calculations are not guaranteed. The actual repair process can reveal unexpected issues, and costs can quickly increase. Still, the possibility of reducing expenses through independent work is a major reason why this trend is gaining attention. It shows that even in a world of million-pound cars, smart decisions and creative problem-solving can make a big difference. One of the most powerful forces behind this entire situation is YouTube. In the past, projects like rebuilding a Bugatti would have happened behind closed doors, with very few people knowing the details. Today, creators like Mat Armstrong and Mark McCann are sharing their work with millions of viewers around the world. This changes everything. When a project is documented online, it becomes more than just a repair. It becomes a story that people can follow step by step. Viewers get to see the challenges, the mistakes, and the solutions. This level of transparency makes the process easier to understand and more interesting to watch. It also builds trust. When people see that a complex car like a Bugatti can be repaired outside of official channels, they start to question long-held beliefs about who is capable of doing such work. YouTube also creates a sense of community. Viewers can comment, share ideas, and even provide useful information that helps move the project forward. In some cases, experts from different fields may reach out to offer their help. This kind of collaboration would have been very difficult in the past, but now it happens regularly. Another important factor is the way YouTube rewards engaging content. Dramatic projects, high-value cars, and unexpected challenges attract more viewers, which encourages creators to take on even bigger risks. Rebuilding a Bugatti is not just a technical challenge. It is also a way to create content that can reach a global audience. This adds another layer to the economics of these projects. The money earned from YouTube views, sponsorships, and brand deals can help offset the cost of repairs. In some cases, it can even turn a risky project into a profitable one. This is something manufacturers like Bugatti may not have fully expected. Their cars are now part of a new kind of media, where every repair and modification can be watched by millions of people. This exposure can be both positive and negative. On one hand, it keeps the brand in the spotlight and generates excitement. On the other hand, it reveals details about the cars that were once kept private. As more creators take on similar projects, YouTube will continue to play a major role in shaping the future of the automotive industry. It is not just a platform for entertainment. It is becoming a place where knowledge is shared and new ideas are tested in real time. While the idea of independently repairing a Bugatti may sound exciting, it is important to understand that it comes with serious risks and challenges. These cars are not like regular vehicles. A Bugatti Veyron is one of the most advanced machines ever built, with extremely complex systems that require precise engineering. Every component is designed to work perfectly with the others, and even a small mistake can lead to major problems. For example, the gearbox alone is a highly sophisticated piece of technology that must handle enormous amounts of power. Rebuilding it is not a simple task, and it requires specialized knowledge and tools. Independent builders like Mat Armstrong rely on their experience and connections to handle these challenges. But there is always a level of uncertainty. Unlike official service centers, they may not have direct access to factory data or support. This means they have to figure out many things on their own, which can take time and increase the risk of errors. Another challenge is sourcing parts. Bugatti produces components in very limited numbers, and some parts may be difficult or even impossible to find outside official channels. This is especially true for customized versions like Mansour editions, where each part may be unique. Independent builders often have to search for used parts, work with specialists, or even create custom solutions. This process can be complicated and expensive. There are also legal and warranty issues to consider. Once a car is repaired outside of the manufacturer's network, it may lose any remaining warranty coverage. This can affect its value and make it harder to sell in the future. Safety is another important concern. Hypercars are designed to operate at extremely high speeds, and any fault in the repair could lead to dangerous situations. Manufacturers argue that their strict control over repairs helps prevent these risks, and they have a point. However, independent builders believe that with the right approach, they can achieve the same level of quality. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. Independent repairs can be successful, but they require a high level of skill, careful planning, and a willingness to face unexpected challenges. As more projects like this continue, the industry will learn more about what works and what does not. This knowledge will help shape the future how these incredible machines are maintained and repaired. One of the most important changes happening in this story is the way knowledge is being shared. In the past, companies like Bugatti had almost complete control over information